Hi, my name is Macaulay, and today we're going to be talking about grandparent scams. What is a grandparent scam? So, a grandparent scam is a kind of fraud where someone pretends to be a family member, like a grandchild or other relative, maybe a niece or nephew, and asks for money. Now, they lean on that family connection to create a false sense of trust in order to pull off their scam, right? So, this is really a type of scam that's going to be pulling on those emotional heartstrings in order to cloud our judgment and make us do things we wouldn't ordinarily do, like give up large sums of money. So the grandparent scam is a type of social engineering attack in which a scammer pretends to be a person's grandchild, sometimes another family member, or some sort of official, say a police officer or staff from a hospital. They'll say that the person's grandchild or, again, family member is in trouble. Often the narrative spun is that the grandchild went to Mexico or somewhere and got in trouble with the police, and now they need bail to get out of jail. But one of the tricks with this one is that they'll say, please don't tell my parents. I don't want them to be mad at me. And this stops a victim from double checking the information that the grandchild is telling them. The scammers will then tell the victim to take out large sums of money and send it either via wire transfer, maybe through cryptocurrency or gift cards. It will be some sort of unusual payment method, something that's less easy to trace. Now, these scams can be made more believable by having information like the grandchild's name that maybe the scammer found on social media, being able to spoof phone numbers, so making it look like it's actually the grandchild's phone number, or even using voice manipulation software to sound more like the grandchild. Now, this scam really plays on your fear and sense of urgency. So there'll be a lot of efforts to not let you hang up the phone, right? If you hang up, then you won't be able to post bail, or we won't accept the money, anything like this, to not let you leave the phone call and confirm the information. All right, so how do you spot a grandparent scam? Know that it might be a grandparent scam if you receive an unsolicited call or email claiming that a grandchild or loved one is in danger. They claim to be a grandchild or a hospital staff member, police officer, or lawyer. It's often late at night or early in the morning when most people aren't thinking that clearly. And usually the person claims to be traveling in a foreign country and that they've gotten into a bad situation and need money wired ASAP. Now, they tell you not to tell their parents or spouse or friends or threaten you if you try to verify the information. And the caller will ask for money as cash, gift cards, or wire transfers. The caller often uses deception, intimidation, and coercion to force you to act quickly so you don't think about whether the situation seems credible. So what should you do if you suspect you're being targeted by a grandparent scam? The first thing you want to do is cease all communications. Hang up the phone. Don't take other calls. Don't call back. But if you did engage at all, make sure you're keeping track of what was said, what was asked, just so you have that information if you need to build a case. Call your actual grandchild or call a family member. Confirm the details, right? You still may be spooked. Even if you feel like it's a scam and you hang up, it can still leave you with a feeling of anxiety. So check in with your family. Make sure that this is for sure a scam, to give yourself peace of mind. And lastly, report the scam, especially if you've actually been victimized. If you stop the conversation early on, you still might want to report it just to let them know. But if you actually have been victimized and you've given money, report it to the police. This is where having that documentation comes in really handy. But file a report with the police and the Anti-Fraud Center. Okay, how do you protect yourself against grandparent scams? So first of all, social media can be fun, but we need to make sure we take precautions to keep ourselves safe. That means setting the highest possible privacy settings on any of our social media accounts. That way, people we don't want to see our profiles and content can't. Never accept follow or friend requests from people you do not know in real life. And watch out for copy profiles. If you think you already have one of your friends on Facebook and they add you on Facebook again, make sure it's not a copycat account. Often scammers will create fake profiles using the photos and information of someone you are already friends with and use it to trick you into adding them and engaging with them. And lastly, do not give away too much personal information in your posts, even if you've taken all the other precautions. Now, the reason for this is because the more information you put out there about yourselves, the more ammunition scammers have to use against you. So if you're constantly posting about your grandchild, now the scammer knows lots of information about you and your relationship to that grandchild, and they may use it to make their scam seem more convincing. If you receive a call that you suspect to be a grandparent scam, confirm the identity of the person you're speaking to. One thing a lot of people do is set a family password, right? So some sort of phrase or word that you share amongst each other that you know to ask for when you're on the phone so you can confirm the identity of the person who says they're your family member. Press the caller for specific details that only the person they're claiming to be would actually know. Hang up the call and redial the number of the person who is claiming to call you, right? These scammers can spoof phone numbers, making it look like the actual phone number, but if you hang up and call back, it won't call them. And lastly, call other family members to confirm the details the scammer is telling you. Ask them, hey, is Ryan really in Mexico right now, right? Now, this hanging up and calling back or calling others is really important because this is the one thing that they'll try to stop you from doing. So another thing to note on this is just say you're going to hang up. If you say you're going to hang up, the scammer will try to pressure you not to hang up. And if they do that, you know it's probably a scammer. And lastly, be aware of the story. Now, the steps scammers take to scam you are often the same, but their story might change. So make sure you're keeping up to date on what the latest story is. Some common ones we tend to see are the grandchild is under arrest in a foreign country and they need bail money. Or they're stuck in a foreign country and need money to get home. Or maybe they've had an accident or are sick and need money for medical bills. Or maybe they broke something like their phone and they need money to repair it. Maybe they don't want to tell their parents because they don't want their parents to get angry at them. And so they're calling you to ask for help. Now again, this isn't a full list of every story they may tell you, but it should give you a sense of the types of stories they may be trying to sell you. All right, if you have any more questions about this topic, you can always call Cyber Seniors toll-free at 844-217-3057 or visit us online at cyberseniors.org.